What happens if you fire a gun in space? Scientific truth. You are floating in the dark void of space. You pull out a standard handgun and pull the trigger. Fire needs oxygen to burn, and space is a vacuum. So, does the gun simply click? Or does it fire? Surprise! The gun absolutely fires. Modern gunpowder contains its own internal oxidizer, a chemical that provides the oxygen needed for the explosion. It doesn't care if it's on Earth or in the vacuum of space. However, you won't hear the classic bang. Sound requires air molecules to travel. In space, it would be perfectly silent to an outside observer. But you, holding the gun, would feel the violent vibration travel through your bones. On Earth, air resistance immediately starts slowing a bullet down. But in the vacuum of space, there is zero friction. The bullet will actually travel slightly faster than it would on Earth, and it will never ever slow down. Now for the consequences. Newton's third law states, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. When the gun pushes the bullet forward, the gun pushes you backward. Because you are much heavier than a tiny bullet, your backward speed will be very slow, only a few centimeters per second. But without friction to stop you, you will drift backward forever until you hit something. Here is where it gets crazy. If you fire the gun while in orbit around a planet, like Earth, and you aim perfectly horizontally, that bullet is now in its own orbit. Because the bullet is traveling fast enough to continually fall around the curvature of the Earth, it will circle the entire planet. If you stay in the exact same spot, roughly 90 minutes later, that bullet will hit you right in the back. What if you fired it in deep space, away from planets? According to Newton's first law, it will travel in a straight line forever. But eventually, it will pass by a massive star or black hole, and gravity will bend its path. The universe is constantly expanding. As the bullet travels for millions of years, the space between galaxies will stretch. The bullet becomes an eternal cosmic traveler, outliving human history. Long after our sun burns out, long after Earth is gone, that 9mm piece of metal will still be flying through the void. A silent, deadly monument to a curious species that once looked at the stars and asked, what if? Space turns our everyday actions into eternal, mind-bending physics experiments. If this cosmic thought experiment blew your mind, hit that subscribe button. Visit my channel